Hey up, Titus Pétange fans. How you all doing? It is a new season and trying to get back to the top of the Luxembourg League. Also trying to get into the Europa Conference League, as that is where we were dropped as the second place team in Luxembourg. It's been very, very difficult up to this stage. We had to actually get through a penalty shootout at one point. But here we go. We got one more game to get to that group stage. And that's where the money starts coming in. Even though it's the Conference League, there is still a bit of money, bubbling around that I could potentially grab. We need as much money as we possibly can because the finances, they're finally looking a bit dodgy. And you can see by the amount we spent last year, 29 million on players, there's so many additionals that we will have to pay for this year. You can understand why we are in a pretty, I wouldn't say desperate financial situation, but something that we have to address this year. And you can see by our spending, this graph here on the right-hand side, our spending has been much lower this season. However, at the end of the Luxembourg season, I did call on a few more recruits. So we're going to go through the transfers basically at the end of last season and the ins and outs, and then what's happened this season as well. There's a lot fewer, far fewer this season. So we got, to start off with, KV Hokshay, who is an Albanian centre mid. Great vision on the lad. That's 2.5 million. Yulin Chen, a centre back from China, and hopefully develops, becomes a merchandise magnet. They got Nicolas Bejarano, 4.5-star Colombian attacking midfielder, £220,000. Marian Vesley, who with high potential, I think that's Slovakian. I was going to say Slovenian for a second. It's Slovakian striker, but he has got a lower back stress fracture. Got there in the end. But not bad money for someone that's showing high potential. Then we have Fabricio Messias. Another 4.5-star potential. We're probably getting to the ceiling of the players now. 1.8 million. With the 5-star players being maybe potential Premier League quality. So if a player stays at 5 stars, then that is a good omen. Adrian Rodas come in and already sold out. But we signed him up for 350k, sold him for a loss, but just so he's out of the door. It wasn't going to turn into much. We had far better central midfield options. Dominic Houseman, he's in the under 23s at the moment. £1.5 million spent on him, so that's a big mistake, a big regret at 4 stars now potential. Inigo Perez, he's even dropped down to 4.5 stars. It's a sad time. It really is a sad time. The 6'5" winger. I'm just trying to get him to become a striker, £400,000. Thankfully, the goalkeeper is still at 5 stars, but he is only 17 years old, so you can't really expect much of him at the moment. Jan Wiersma. He's Dutch, so I don't really know how to say his second name. Wiersma. £400,000 from Wolfsburg is a fairly comfortable deal. And then we got Christian Lozano, who's stuck with his 5-star potential. Very nice indeed. I was not expecting that. He was one of the more worrying players, to be honest, what I signed up. And no, he's looking now like a pretty solid deal at £900,000. And then we got Ehat Dennis, who is a quality centre-back coming in from Turkey, at Fenerbahce at £700,000. On the outgoings, we got Kim Gronvik, who has moved to Fuller Etch, £275,000. With that deal, making a loss, that's fine. But just trying to get any money whatsoever, going through the massive regions that we could potentially get at the club to see which ones are 5-star and stick with 5-star. Then we got Frederick Knudsen, I think this guy was a free agent coming in and we sold him to El Fati on a £250,000 profit, so that's not bad. The mistake of a goalkeeper, the free agent goalkeeper going out to Helsingør, fair enough. That's also a free the other way. Jonathan Morel, a not bad centre-back, but he reached his ceiling quite quickly, which was a surprise to me. Olympia paid £300,000 for his services. And finally, Kemal Terzioglu, who could have been Terzioglu? Anyway, could have been the guy for us on the right-hand side. Decided not to be that guy on the right-hand side for us, and we sold him very swiftly. I don't even know if he made a first-team appearance. So, 29 in, 10.25 million out, and then you get to this season's transfers, and you can see that it has very much changed. Three free transfers, 2 have been paid for, but the amount of outs totals 1.6 million, okay? So we got Berat Yildirim, first off. Solid striker, smart choice. £275,000. So even if he's only the 4.5-star potential player that we're expecting right now, we're going to get a decent profit from him. Decent profits. Darlin is a wonder kid, I would say, driven with 20 determination, coming in on a free, slapped a lot of wages, big wages, in from Bromby, and then another one coming in from the Danish league, I believe. Bromby's definitely Danish. I don't even need to check. Lorenstein, who is a 5-star Danish centre mid, but, you know, caution on that side. We've had loads of free agent Danish players that haven't made the mark, so we'll just wait and see. Another signing here, Alejandro Gutierrez, a right back, who has stayed 5-star potential. So this looks like a good signing, and he's growing quite nicely at the moment. This early in his early part of the his career at Titus Pétange, what we're talking, just over a month. And this is an interesting one. All right, Jorge Moliero comes in. He was a free agent at the start of July, and I got him and a right winger around the club. And I was more interested in the right winger. They were both Portuguese, both interested in the right winger, but he broke his ankle whilst he was on trial with us. So I was like, okay, well, you're going to have to do. So Moliero, there's 4.5-star potential. A lot of players have dropped from 5 stars at the start of the season to 4.5 stars. It's just the way that Football Manager does things, apparently. Recently, I know that that's been the same with Football Manager 2021. But he's still got a lot of things to give us. He's a perfectionist. He's an attacking midfielder. We can make him into an attacking right. I'm sure we can. It would just be hilarious to see him really blossom into this great player, just on the coincidence that the player that we wanted to sign broke his ankle. It would be incredible if that was the case. All right, outwards going players. Let's start with Ezra Escalona. There he goes. 21 years old. I did expect a little bit more of a wheel. His wheel was not as developed as what I think 21 years old could do. So off he goes. Sasha Tesic goes to Red Star. 185k. Not pleased with that amount of money, especially when we're getting quite a lot. 350k for Dumitrescu moving to Arad. Rodas is there after spending a couple of months at Titus Pétange, moving to Universitario de Deportes. That has a potential of being 275k. Davids has gone out on loan to Cape Town City. I think he's still around the 4.5-star potential. Gabriel Onana, still 4.5-star. He's gone to Dunkirk. And then we got Mohamed Farouk, who's been definitely in the starting lineups and in and around the first team for about 3 seasons now. He's moved £200,000 to Ismaili. I think that's an Egyptian club, yeah. And then Christian Kajan, he's gone to Fola Etch, £100,000. No one else was getting even close to that asking price, so I gave it away to one of our rivals. And the Japanese player Alvarez, a little bit more reluctant to sell this player, but at 19 years old, it's like the Ezra Escalona one, to be honest. At 19, I do expect the wheel to be a bit more developed than that. So off he goes to Porto, and I'm really surprised that Porto even were interested in that player. But you know what? If he turns out to be a very, very good footballer for Porto, then it'll be very much egg on my face. Right. Schedule is looking like this. It's Aberdeen in the Europa Conference League, 4th qualifying round, 2nd leg, and we take a 2-1 advantage from the first. Shout out to George Burns, our goalkeeper, who saved the decisive penalty there to let us advance against Odense, yep. That was, a 3-3 aggregate, and then on penalties, we were absolutely knackered by the end of that. We've also played Forfadina, but yeah, we went past them, no problem. So, quick pick. We got the 5 players on the bench, with 3 of them quite healthy. So we know which 3 we're going to use unless someone is in serious danger of getting sent off, and then we might have to think about things. Barber is having a really, really good time of it. It's come in, 6'7", absolute colossus, scoring some big goals. I'm pretty sure against Odense away from home he scored twice. So he's pairing up with Jose up front. I don't know whether or not I've told you about the Jose deal, but we've recently extended his contract with the club, and he is getting paid money. He's like on 6,000 something pounds a week, so it's a crazy amount of money for us to be spending on players, and that's actually crippled us a little bit as well, because the Portuguese lad that we signed in, the maximum that we could have offered him per week was about 1.7. Still not bad, but when you can only do that on one player, and then it goes to the hundreds, you know that financially we're not in a great place. We probably need group stages right now, but even if we get group stages in the Conference League, it's not going to be enough. Maybe we could afford this if we were in the Europa League for most part, but we need more. We definitely need more. Morgan. Good little save there by Burns. I want to see Burns a little bit because George Burns is not a Portuguese name. Got Portuguese nationality. Not decided to represent anyone else, but I wouldn't be surprised if he had either English or like American as a second nationality. Let's try and grab him here. Information. Yeah, he's English as well. He was born in Funchal. I'm going to guess, right, this guy was born in Portugal, then spent most of his teenage years in England, and now he's living life to the full. Although, that being said, didn't we get him from a Portuguese team? Oh, yeah, so he's just been living in Portugal all the time. That's pretty cool. The like mother and father might have just emigrated over to Portugal, or might have even just had an holiday, and she just broke water. But then again, if it was only a holiday, why would the kid stay in Portugal. Yeah, they'll have just emigrated there. That is so super cool. George Burns. Told Georgie Burns. So long as these are our attacks, I'm all good with it. Especially if Alexandre Jose puts one in and just gives us that bit of breathing room. Near the 60th minute as well. So we're gonna try and make something happen here. We got Yildirim's on the bench. Barbar's got the yellow card. Villagrand's absolutely knackered. So is Jose, but Jose is too important. We'll actually have Gonzalez here at centre back left because he can just about do it. The registration, a killer as always. But I did spend a lot more time thinking about which players to register and which players to not register. So it's not been much of a problem this time around in comparison. Because it's a new season, I might just flick through the first team so you know where everybody is, development-wise, just before I finish this episode. Well done, Gonzalez. So we've got 30 minutes now to see this out. It's gone to see it out mode. That is a lovely ball from Berat to Darling, and it's Peyton in the net that's just flicks it over the crossbar. Right, so Hoxhay with the corner kick that is headed away defensively. We've got 25 minutes left here with Titus Pétange really dominating on the match stats. 13 shots, 10 on target, an XG of 1.28. Might even just praise them for how well they've dealt with this. Because it could have been a lot more difficult, obviously, 2-1 on the away leg. The Aberdeen fans would have been up for it. And that's full time. We're into the Conference League group stages. And a big shout out to Mr. George Burns, who was a star of the show. I love him. I absolutely adore him because he's not the highest potential player, but he's working hard every single day in training and he's growing exponentially. And that's 2.49 million that will help us massively. Should put the bank balance is back in the black. That's great. And I am just going to flick through the first team for you. So this is how we're looking. Obviously, Hernandez there is out on loan in China still. But I can't wait to get him back because he looks awesome. Rocky is also in China. There we go. Bar. A lot of up arrows. What you love to see. I think that is your lot. We might even go through the under-23s because this year I've started putting high potential players in the under-23s now just to kind of separate everything off. We can't really have everybody in the first team anymore. The board have been good with me and extended our coach allowance numbers on the under-23s from 2 to 3, which is not that much of a deal, but it'll be a big deal for the players that'll be in the under-23s. Hopefully it doesn't stunt the growth massively of the players that could seriously be superstars in the future. I think I've gone through everybody. And in the under-18s, we've got this guy who came from our youth academy the same time as Lu Xiaobo, who got a slight injury recently, but he's fine. Okay, big thanks for watching this all the way through. Goal is to win the league this time around, and we got to win the league. It's not just a goal; it's something that we have to expect. All right, see you next time.